was March 12, 2004, West Hammond Avenue in Fresno.
Get in there! He's doing something to the kids!
This is the worst mass murder in the history of our city.
The gruesome discovery inside a back bedroom.
As a police chief, it's something you hope would never occur, ever.
Walking out of his home with blood stains on his shirt.
It hurt so bad that somebody would do something like this. It's terrible.
9 dead, all children, all shot once in the head.
The cause of death is gunshot wounds.
The suspect appears as terrifying as the crime, even through the crosshairs of a seasoned cop like Eloy Escareno.
Fresno Police Department, keep your hands where I can see them.
I dropped my shotgun for a second.
This was not the man you expected to see at the door.
There was nothing I expected.
Marcus Wesson will be charged with 9 counts of Penal Code Section 187, murder.
With each passing minute, the story darkens.
Regarding the belief that maybe there was a cult involved or a sect.
Descending past the strange.
Maybe he goes, well, Mom, was he a vampire?
In terms of the caskets, we don't know what the intent was.
Into the perverse.
There was a sexual relationship between he and perhaps 2 of his daughters, and those daughters mothered children that were his.
The tangled family tree of 57-year-old Marcus Wesson includes his wife, their 11 children, plus 7 more he fathered with his own daughters and nieces. The neighborhood anger and chaos could have been expected, but who would have predicted that 2 of Wesson's surviving sons would come wholeheartedly to their father's defense?
He did not abuse any of my family members. He's cool to me. I'm the oldest son.
They all loved him. They played with him almost every day. He's the best dad anybody ever had.
Exactly how the best dad anyone could ever have can also be one of the most deranged monsters in American history is the strange question at the heart of tonight's story. The answer lies in Marcus Wesson's extraordinary power to control the minds of his wife and children, a power that places him in the company of such madmen as David Koresh.
There'll be no excuses.
Who led his followers to their fiery death at Waco. Jim Jones, whose flock committed mass suicide in Guyana, and of course Charles Manson, who turned flower children into random killers. Marcus Wesson was all of this and more, and the only way to understand him fully is through the eyes of those who, only now, are beginning to see him clearly. These are the faces of survival, the children of Marcus Wesson, who by luck and courage escaped their father's reign of terror. They joined us in the Santa Cruz Mountains at the centuries-old Mountain Winery to begin sketching the portrait of a prophet and a parent.
He was definitely mentally defective.
Mentally defective?
I would have to say I think he was sort of psychotic, just mentally not there.
Dorian, was he insane?
I think he was delusional and narcissistic.
In a religious sense, did he think he was a deity of some sort?
Yes.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
He said that if you see Jesus Christ, if you see God, you see me.
In fact, he was God. That's just the way it was.
God wore dreadlocks and commanded obedience.
I truly believed he was God until I was 19.
And this was a brutal God. The most trivial transgression, like sneaking a spoonful of peanut butter, could trigger the most vicious assaults.
He found out and ripped the cable wire out of the wall and had me stripped naked in 15-20 minutes straight, head to toe, until I
beat you with a cable?
Yeah, like a whip.
He would beat me until I had welts, like actual stripes.
And the punishments would multiply, days into weeks, into months.
A 30-day punishment involved 21 hits on your person, and then that's 1 in the morning, then 1 in the afternoon, and 1 before you went to bed. Now imagine getting that for 30 days straight.
You have to remind him in the morning when you wake up.
You have to remind him that he's going to beat you?
Yeah, you would have to remind him, just ask him, can I have my spank now, if we would call it.
Morning, noon, and night, Wesson mixed his ruthlessness with relentless indoctrination, his own corrupt brand of Bible studies and prayer sessions lasting hour upon hour. You're living in a hellish situation. Did you know it?
At that time, no.
How can that be?
We were born into that, and we had no type of outside influence.
I really looked up to my dad. Like, I thought he was an awesome guy. Now, you know, here I am, just talking about how bad he is, and it just sucks because he is, you know.
The roots of Wesson's obsessions snake back 4 decades to the day he staged a homemade wedding ceremony, complete with a family Bible and a bride. But the bride was 8 years old, and the groom was dead serious and convincing.
He said that I belonged to him, that I was his wife already.
How old were you?
I just turned 8.
Did it feel to you like you were married? Did it feel special?
Him. Yeah, I did. I believed him. I believed everything he said.
Why do you think you believed him so wholeheartedly?
I guess because he paid attention to me, and he always told me that I was special, that the Lord chose me to be his wife.
By 14, Elizabeth was pregnant, and by 26, she had given birth 11 times, a nascent flock for a deranged Messiah.
He wrote his own Bible.
He wrote his own Bible?
Yeah, and it did not get published, you know. This Bible he's writing about, you know, Jesus Christ being a vampire.
Jesus Christ was a vampire?
Yeah, that was his theory, because he shed his blood for us, so therefore we need his blood to be saved. And in his mind, it was like, Jesus Christ is the real vampire.
Like a religious junkyard, Wesson collected bizarre beliefs and welded them into his own grotesque vision, borrowing notions of sexual abuse from the children of God and polygamy from fundamentalist Mormons. The end was near. He could feel it.
He preached that to us, and we were prepared for that. We had, you know, survival food, backpacks ready. We were like really brainwashed into believe that God would come in the year 2000. And when he did not, you know, we're like sort of justifying, okay, he's a little late.
Though Wesson taught his family to fear the outside world, equating police and the government with the devil, sometimes there were signs from out there, like the siege at Waco, that they were not alone.
The whole 58-day standoffs they had, we were watching every day. My dad mentioned how similar him and David Koresh were.
And he would tell us how much it was like our family and how he was Christ, and he really admired him.
He was just in love with the guy.
He had multiple wives, you know, the same thing, you know, the charisma. And to me, I just see similar traits.
Like the false prophets before him, Marcus Wesson's mind games will lead his family toward a bloody end. And the day of reckoning is just beginning.